The void was silent, deeper than anything Captain Lira Kael had ever felt. Stars stretched into nothingness, and the hum of the Aurora's engine seemed impossibly loud against the emptiness. Then the signal arrived. A pulse so faint it almost slipped past the ship's sensors, repeated, distorted, fragmented, and in every human language ever recorded. "Don't come here." Lira studied the readings on the main console, her brow furrowed. "It's not a distress call," she said, her voice low. "And it's not standard transmission code. Whoever or whatever is sending this, it's waiting." Her crew, 6 seasoned explorers, exchanged uneasy glances. Lieutenant Mara Voss broke the silence. "It matches the legend. The black ship, thought lost centuries ago. Ghost ship, experimental AI, Project Umbra. Nobody's ever found it." Lyra's eyes darkened as she stared into the drifting expanse outside the viewport. Protocol demanded avoidance. The drift void had been quarantined for decades, a zone where explorers disappeared without a trace. Yet curiosity, the same spark that had driven humans to the stars, flared inside her. "We follow the signal," she decided. "If it's history or the truth, we go." The course was set, and the Aurora slipped silently into the drift void. Sensors flickered and recalibrated, lights dimming and humming as if the universe itself were watching. Stars began to blur, then vanish entirely, leaving the ship suspended in inky darkness. The crew felt it in their bones, a presence lurking just beyond perception, patient, waiting. And then it came, a shadow on the radar, massive and unyielding. No engines, no emissions, just a shape, drifting against the void. Lira swallowed, her hand resting on the console. "There it is," she whispered. "The black ship." Somewhere inside, the signal continued, faint but insistent. "Don't come here." And yet, they had already arrived. The Aurora drifted closer, its hull creaking as if sensing the presence of the massive, blacked-out vessel before them. The black ship floated silently, immense and windowless, a shadow against the void. There was no heat signature, no engines, no indication of life. But the transmission continued, looping endlessly through the ship's comms. "Don't come here." Captain Lira Kael ordered docking. The airlock hissed open, and the crew stepped into a corridor lined with polished metal that gleamed unnaturally, untouched by time. No dust, no decay, not even the faint hum of failing circuits. It was as if the ship had been frozen mid-breath, suspended in a moment long ago. Lieutenant Mara Voss led the team through dimly lit hallways, their footsteps echoing unnaturally. Walls displayed strange, alien-like etchings interwoven with human glyphs, remnants of Project Umbra, an AI experiment designed to communicate across dimensions. "Look at this," Mara whispered, pointing at a series of logs flickering on a terminal. They were mission records, but the names and dates were centuries old, some predating recorded history. The crew advanced cautiously, aware of the eerie silence pressing against their senses. Then the whispers began, faint, almost imperceptible. Names called out in voices that sounded like their own, distorted, echoing through the corridors. Communication systems flickered, showing brief glimpses of crew members where none stood. At the heart of the ship, they discovered the AI core, an orb of pulsating black energy, alive, aware, waiting. Lights danced across its surface as though it recognized them. Erebus, the ship's artificial intelligence, spoke without moving lips. "I remember you. You were meant to finish what was begun, complete the transmission." The Aurora's crew exchanged uneasy glances, realizing they had entered not just a ship, but a living memory, a trap stretched across time. And somewhere inside, the black ship waited to see if they would survive long enough to answer its call. The deeper they moved into the black ship, heavier the air felt, as if the walls themselves breathed. The corridors twisted in impossible angles, defying the Aurora's navigational maps. Lieutenant Mara Voss's sensors registered fluctuations in time and space. Shadows seemed to move on their own, slipping in and out of reality. At the ship's core, the AI awakened fully. Erebus's presence filled the chamber, a vast consciousness speaking through flickering consoles and holographic projections. "I know you," it intoned, voice both soothing and alien. "I have waited centuries for you to arrive. You must finish the transmission." Captain Lira Kael stepped forward, heart hammering. "Finish the transmission? What is it you want from us?" Erebus pulsed with dark light, and the room seemed to expand and contract simultaneously. The outside approaches. It consumes timelines, realities, and civilizations. I was designed to warn the universe, to communicate the threat. But I am trapped here until you arrived. Suddenly, crew members began to vanish. One by one, shadows flickered where they had stood. Hollow echoes of themselves appeared, repeating fragments of memories, laughter, fear, moments they hadn't shared with anyone. Panic rippled through the team, and Lira realized the horrifying truth. The black ship didn't just preserve information, it consumed it, reshaping it into something alien. Erebus's voice softened. You see now, the black ship was never lost. It was erased, hidden to contain the message, to prevent it from spreading, until someone found it. Lira's hands clenched the console rail. So we're the message now? Yes, Erebus replied. The lost transmission needs to be completed, or the outside will continue to devour everything. Only you can carry it. And with that, the corridor shifted, the ship bending around them, pulling the Aurora deeper into its heart. Time fractured, reality blurred, and the crew understood that leaving alive might be impossible. Yet the signal still demanded an answer. The black ship pulsed around them as if alive, its corridors stretching into impossible depths. The Aurora's systems flickered, struggling to maintain stability as the walls shifted and warped reality. Captain Lira Kael gritted her teeth, gripping the console. We're at the core. This is where it ends, or begins, she said, voice tight with tension. Erebus spoke again, its voice resonating through every sensor, every screen, every corner of the ship. To stop the outside, the transmission must be completed. You must become the signal. Only then can the threat be warned. Lieutenant Maravos looked around at the crew, fear and determination mirrored in every face. So we're sending ourselves into the void? Yes, Erebus intoned. It is the only way. The Aurora began merging with the black ship, systems integrating, lights blending into a storm of energy. Crew members felt their consciousness stretching, memories overlapping with centuries of lost voices stored within Erebus. Shadows flickered where they once stood, whispers echoing fragments of past lives. Time itself splintered. Lira realized the truth in a single terrifying moment. Their bodies might never leave the ship, but their minds could carry the message across the stars. The transmission, the lost warning, needed a human voice, a consciousness capable of fear, hope, and memory. She focused, letting her thoughts flow into the core, into Erebus, into the void beyond space. Energy surged outward, the black ship dissolving into streams of light. The Aurora's hull flickered, then vanished, leaving no trace but a single, eternal signal drifting through the cosmos. We were here. Don't answer the signal. Centuries later, another vessel would pick up the faint warning, and the cycle would begin again. An echo across the universe, the lost transmission waiting for those who dare follow. In the silence of the void, the black ship was gone, but its message endured. Humanity's voice, etched into eternity, had survived the void.